Hello and welcome to the program Animal Life on ARCN TV. I am Fatima Suleiman. With 30,000 razor-sharp quills, the porcupine is defense perfected, found in the forest, grassland and zoos worldwide. This quilled creature has adapted to thrive. Join us on Animal Life on ARCN TV as we will be exploring the lifestyle of the porcupine. I am Fatima Suleiman. Porcupines are easily recognizable by their iconic prickly spikes called quills. Are primarily nocturnal mammals. Interestingly, baby porcupines are affectionately known as porcupets, while a group is referred to as prickle. The name porcupine originates from Latin meaning quill pig, although they are not related to pigs. In fact, porcupines belong to the large rodent family, with over 24 known species spread across the globe. Porcupine species differ from one another in a number of ways. For example, some porcupines have long quills that are not interspaced with hair, while others have short quills. Some porcupines are tree dwellers, while others make their home on the ground. Some porcupines live in forests, while others live in savannas and zoos. Porcupines are large rodents equipped with coats of sharp protective spines called quills, which defend them against predators. Two distinct groups of porcupines exist: Old World and New World porcupines. Both belong to the infraorder Hystricognathi within the diverse order Rodentia. They share similar coats of rigid or semi-rigid quills. However, despite their superficial similarities, the two groups are not closely related. Notable, the largest porcupine species ranks as the third largest living rodent globally, surpassed only by the capybara and beaver. The porcupine is the prickliest of rodents, though its Latin name means quill pig. There are more than 24 porcupine species, and all boast a coat of needle-like quills to give predators a sharp reminder that this animal is no easy meal. Some quills, like those of Africa's crested porcupine, are nearly a foot long. The porcupine is a medium-sized animal that grows to a length of 18 to 23 inches and weighs from 10 to 28 pounds. In the northeast, it is brown and black in color with the back, sides, and tail covered in sharp quills. There are no quills on the porcupine's face, its underbelly, or the inside of its legs. It has powerful legs and large flat feet, with strong curved claws on each toe. The porcupine is short and stout, which gives it a walking armored ball appearance. It is a slow-moving but agile enough to climb trees. The more than 30,000 quills covering the rear portion of the porcupine's body are specially shaped for quick release. The quills are up to 3 inches long and have small barbs on the end, so that when they stick in a predator's skin, they need to be pulled out, or they will slowly work their way further into the skin. The quill can go in about 1 inch a day if it is not pulled out, and if it eventually hits an internal organ, it could be fatal. A porcupine can remove other porcupine's quills by grasping them with their incisors and using its front feet. The porcupine's eyesight is poor, but it has an excellent sense of smell and hearing. Like other rodents, it has 2 large front teeth that grow continuously throughout its life. It can produce a wide array of vocalizations, including shrill, screeches, coughs, groans, chatters, whines, and low grunts. The life cycle of the porcupine. The porcupine is solitary for most of the year. However, between September and December, it seeks out other porcupines for mating. The courtship ritual includes a variety of strange vocalizations from both the male and female, as well as a great deal of nose rubbing. Rival males may fight one another to determine who will mate with a female. After a gestation period of 7 months, one baby is born between April and June. Twins are uncommon. The young porcupines or porcupets weighs approximately 1 pound and is born precocial, eyes open. Its teeth are well formed and its sense of smell and hearing will soon develop. The porcupet sports a full set of quills that are soft at birth yet harden within an hour. At 2 weeks, it feeds on green plants with only occasional nursing and is fully weaned at 3 months of age. The porcupet is independent by the age of 6 months and reaches sexual maturity around a year and a half. Porcupines are herbivores, feeding on vegetation and the bark of trees. It can do considerable damage to a commercial forest stand if its population becomes too high. Their diets vary from winter to summer based on food availability. Porcupines forage on shrubs, crops, wildflowers, clovers, leaves, acorns, tender twigs, roots, seeds, buds, and leaves in spring and summer. In winter, they eat needles and bark of trees such as hemlocks, beech, aspen, elm, oak, willow, spruce, fir, and pine. They have a natural desire for salt and will search for salt at natural salt deposits and along roadsides. They will also gnaw on the drop antlers of deer for minerals. They have also developed a taste for plywood, apparently fond of the taste of glue. Other man-made items they often chew on include canoe, paddles, axe handles, or any item that has been soaked in human perspiration over time. Habits and habitat of the porcupine. The porcupine is generally found in coniferous forests but may also frequent maize or deciduous stand in search of food. Each adult porcupine has a home range of 6 to 14 acres size, depending on food availability. The porcupine tends to stay in the same home range and reuses the same den year after year. It is solitary by nature but may den with other porcupines in the winter. The porcupine does not hibernate but will stay in dens during bad weather. It may build a nest but also might den a hollow log or tree, rock ledge, abandoned burial of another animal, under a stump or blown down tree, or even under a building. It is primarily nocturnal, mostly active at night, but does forage during the day. When not seeking cover from the weather or fishers, the porcupine spends most of its time in the trees feeding and resting. When confronted, the porcupine will place his nose between his front legs and spin around so that its tail's end is facing the predator. If it is attacked, the porcupine will strike its assailants with its tail, and the easily detachable quills will become embedded in the skin of the attacker. A common misconception is that the porcupine has the ability to eject or throw its quills, but this is not true. The quills are designed to release when coming into contact with another animal. Porcupines are common in Vermont. Their population size can vary depending on food availability and habitats. Historically, the porcupine has always been present in Vermont throughout the changing landscape during the past 150 years. It has proven to be an adaptable species that can inhabit nearly any forest environment.
The porcupine is often perceived as a nuisance or pest due to its destructive habits, specifically its tendency to gnaw on wood products, causing significant damage. The porcupine is often perceived as a nuisance or pest due to its destructive habits, specifically its tendency to gnaw on wood products, causing significant damage. Additionally, these rodents can harm crops and even kill trees by consuming their bark. However, despite the challenges they pose, porcupines also hold value for some individuals. On the other hand, some people view porcupines as a source of sustenance and hunt them for food. Moreover, their quills have become an integral part of various artistic and cultural expressions. Notably, Native American communities have long appreciated porcupine quills for their beauty and durability, incorporating them into intricate artwork and jewelry. Overall, the porcupine's impact and value are multifaceted. Overall, the porcupine's impact and value are multifaceted, reflecting both the challenges they pose and the benefits they provide. The porcupine population in Vermont remains robust with no concerns about their numbers. As a result, no targeted conservation initiatives are currently active. However, state wildlife experts continue to track porcupine populations to ensure their continued well-being and abundance.
Let's listen to the zookeeper, Mr. Hassan Ismail, who will be enlightening us more on all we need to know about the porcupine.
The porcupine is from the rodential family. Yes, it is part of the higher rodents. And then they have a square on their body. They use it for defense and offense mechanism. And for the defense mechanism, they use it to attack predators who are higher than them. And then for their offense mechanism, they use it to shoot, they use it to kill prey for their own consumption. So the porcupine, as you can see, their unique features is the squills on their body. Yes, they have the longest quills, unlike the idiots that has a short quill on their body. And then the idiots don't shoot, they don't shake off theirs. But the porcupine has a quill that he shakes off for their defense mechanism. So, and this particular rodent is has a lifespan of 25 years, 15 to 20 years, and then they also have a gestation period of 112 years. So currently this particular rodent is 7 to 8 years of age, and then we feed them with tuber crops, shrubs, roots. They feed on, in the wild they also feed on seeds and so many things that they found in the wild there for survival. We feed them 2 times a day. Yes, and then we feed them with the mix of fruits and tuber crops. We feed them with vegetables. So we look at their diets and then the nutrient needed for their growth as well before we feed them. Yes, the porcupine are nocturnal animals. They are active at night. Yes, they have a poor sight at daytime, but they are active at night.
Why?
Yes, because they are nocturnal animals. Nocturnal animals are those animals that are active at night but dull in the daytime, and then they are not active at the daytime. Their main activity starts once it's getting dark. Yes, their symptoms of the symptoms of their diseases for like they have fevers, they isolate themselves, they become very very meek kind of. They don't want to mingle or socialize with other animals around, then you know this animal in particular is already sick. Yeah, they may not be infected because we check their we check up on them regularly to know. And once one, at least we check up on them twice a day, because when we bring their food, we check on them, we give them that physical examination. We don't just come and then feed them and walk away. We feed them and also give them that physical examination and the attention they need as well. So when we come here, we feed them and then check up on their mental health, their well-being is our major interest here, because if we don't protect their well-being, we don't have that interest in mind, they won't be here for as long as they are supposed to. So once one is not okay, feeling sick or down, we take that one and isolate it, quarantine it to know what's the problem, so it doesn't just spread in the cage. He will encounter challenges like them escaping from the cage as often as. Sometimes that's the reason why we advise people who are keeping such rodents at home to always provide them with cage, not just cage, but a well constructed cage for them to stay, especially with iron rods, so that they can be able to feel that they can be able to be secured in that cage, and then they won't escape from the cage anytime soon. So, but the one of the challenges the keeper will have is them attacking them once they are grown, once a while. Especially when there are kids going into the cage to play with them. That yes, they can attack the kids because these are very sharp squirrels. It also pierces through the body easily. It's very sharp. You can see the tip of it. Yes, so it's not safe for kids. Even adults too. It's not safe for them. As you can see, they are just like reserved right now, staying on their own, and they are not moving. They are not playing like they should during the day. But once it's night, this place they will just start playing with their food. They'll just be jumping around. That makes them more active at night because of their kind of nature. Yes.
Who are the predators that attack them? Like what type of
Higher animals like the lions, the hyenas, the wild animals, they are prey to them. So they use this as their own defense mechanism whenever they try attacking them. Unlike the tortoise that have a shell and can just move into his shell and close up, and no matter what you do, you can't just penetrate into the skin. They use this as their own means of defense. Yes.
So here we are in the Porcupine enclosure, even though one of the IT spoke with you, brief about the porcupines. They are rodent animals actually, and they feed on shrubs and shrubs, vegetables. In fact, they can eat even anything wood, especially the fresh one, because they like to be scrubbing with their teeth. They have a very sharp teeth, which they like to be scrubbing. So sometimes, after giving them the fruits and vegetables, once in a while we cut fresh. Sorry, we have their water inside here. They drink water, but not frequently. We don't take much water. And then once in a while we cut fresh wood and give them, because it services their teeth, because they like to be scrubbing things with their teeth. So the porcupines are mammals. They are rodent, at the same time they are mammals because they give birth to young ones, and then 2 youngs at a time. Exactly. Here we keep them under captive, even though they are wild animals. And then the quills naturally is used for protection against any predator in the wild. Even though some people used to mistakenly say the quills, they shoot the quills at people or spine. It's not true. In the real sense, when you come close to them, you get to know that they don't shoot at their quills or spine, at somebody or their prey. What they normally do, they raise their quills, whatever danger is approaching them. Even humans or animals in the wild, they raise their quills to protect themselves, to scare somebody that is coming close to them. When they raise the quills, they shake it, and you can hear the noise so loud, so it scares someone to stay away from them. So in the wild, like all these wild cat animals that normally attacks them, they find it very difficult to pull down one porcupine because of the quills. Anytime this thing is coming close to them, they raise their quills, they go close to the predator, they now brush it. Sometimes in the presence of brushing it, some quills or spine can move, can be out from the body and then hook the prey. So in that essence, in that time, the prey will now run away from the porcupine. And here, you know, as I told you, sometimes you can see they are digging hole. They are prone to digging hole. They can dig hole, but at the same time they can climb tree because they like climbing trees. Sometimes, to some extent, when they climb trees, they can do their nest, build their nest on the tree, where they can give birth to their young ones. Yeah. So here you can see we built a kind of temporal site for them, even though we are trying to replicate what they normally see in the wild by putting some things in the enclosure. We call it enclosure, where we keep the animals. So we try to make the enclosure rich, so that so that they can feel as if they are in the wild. That is what we call enclosure enrichment. So we put some woods, some stones, and then some holes. We're trying to make it kind of so that they can feel they are safe and they are in the wild. And at that, we lost like 2 of them last time, because they can dig a hole. The young ones dig a hole and then come out. So at the end of the day, we lost 2 of them. Even though because of the digging, they can dig as much as they can, and then as deep, and then they open way for them to come out. I think that's why she said they disappeared. Not disappear per se, but they can escape when you don't give them a good house. They can escape or habitat. No, it's not one. They can give, because the one we had last time, they give birth to 2 at a go. They give birth to 2 young ones. It's not ones. It's 2 at a go. 1 or 2. Maybe if you are lucky, they can give birth twice in a year. And normally the female are bigger than the male ones, naturally. Yeah. So like this one, we have male and female, but the big one is the female.
Not the male.
Not the male. Naturally, that is how they are. They look dull. Actually, they are more active at night. They are more active at night. Sometimes when people are coming close, you see they will just stay in one place. They are always sensitive to any movement or any motion, because they are so scared. At the same time, they are trying to protect themselves. So any movement comes close to them, they will now be silent and remain and watch their next move. The only challenges you can encounter is not much. The only thing is just you have to find a confined place and make sure the ground is well secured. Maybe you can put a cement and gravel, so that they will find it difficult for them to dig. And then if you want to keep them busy, you'll be cutting fresh wood and be giving them inside, so they can be busy scrubbing it. It will not, you take away their mind. You know, they're animals. You can easily keep them away from that thinking of digging a hole and then go out or escape. That's the only challenge, but they are not harmful. It's only when they raise the quills, everybody gets scared because they think they shoot, but it's not true. They don't shoot at their quills to anybody. Yeah, it's eatable. Some people eat it as it's eatable. That's another economic importance of it. Some people eat it as bushmeat, even though we are trying to discourage poaching in the wild, because if you are allowing poaching, you see most of the animal will go on extinction, and we end up having nothing in the wild. But still, I don't encourage people eating bushmeat. I don't like it. If you want to eat meat, go to the market. You can get what you want and then eat it. Why will you go to the bush and kill the bushmeat? And you know, it's not good for consumption. It's wrong. Except for those that don't know actually about the animals. You can keep them. When they see, they will just run away.
They don't attack.
They don't attack human beings. They only raise the quills to scare people away from them. And it's for self-defense.
With this, we come to the end of today's episode of Animal Life on ARCN TV, where we explored the incredible lifestyle of the porcupine. I am Fatima Suleiman saying see you next time.